Hey guys, I am so excited today because we have Emily Hogg on from Quilt 101. We are going to be talking about how she started her business, what she's doing now, and I just think you guys are going to love it. Welcome, Emily.
Hello, it's so great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we're going to start out with the fact that I didn't know Emily was in Utah as I am. She's not she's like not even an hour away from me. So this is I mean, we were on the same time zone, but I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay." So this has been super fun to kind of get to know Emily and see what she's up to. Emily, I remember when you started your Instagram feed. I would love for you just to take us on your journey. Tell us how you got started. Like
Yeah.
what made you decide to start Quilt 101?
So my mom is my business partner. So it's my mom and I are the owners of Quilt 101. And I had been working in the corporate world for a long time doing social media. And I have a lot of health issues. And so I wasn't able to keep working I mean, 9 to 5 isn't demanding, but for me physically, it was too much. And I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. I've always wanted to own my own business. And my favorite quote that kind of keeps me going is, why work your life away to make someone else's dreams come true when you could work your life away to make your own dreams come true? So that's kind of always been my motto and has been stuck in my head for years on, oh my gosh, like I am working so hard to make other people's dreams come true. Like it's my turn. So I loved quilting. So I have quilting is like a huge part of my life. I struggle with infertility. And so quilting has been a really therapeutic and healing process for me to kind of process my grief and to just bring peace to my life. And we can talk about that more later if you want. But so that's kind of how I got started into quilting. And whenever it came time that I knew I needed to leave my job, my mom is a huge quilter. I've admired her my entire life. She's a very creative person. And while I knew a lot about quilts, my mom knew a lot more technical side of quilting. And I was stronger in like the business side. So together, we decided, we're like, how fun would it be to do a quilting business? Quilting, I knew I needed to share quilting. I needed more people to experience the power of crafting and making things with your hand and quilting in particular. And I knew that I was the only person my age I knew of who quilted. The next old, like my mom was the youngest person next to me who I knew who quilted. And so it was really hard to find modern and just more modern quilting designs and patterns and fabric. And I knew I really wanted to bring modern quilting to the next generation. And this was 5, 6 years ago. The quilting world has come a long way in the last 5 or 6 years, but I mean, it was pretty hard to find those criterias, back then. So my mom and I got together and we started to brainstorm like what we wanted this quilt business to do. We knew we wanted to do something different, and we knew we wanted to do something with pre-cut kits, because cutting, especially for a beginner, is really scary and really intimidating. And so what people will do is they will buy all this fabric and then it'll just sit there because A, they don't have a pattern to use for it. And B, it's like they're just too afraid to cut into it, not only because they don't want to ruin their beautiful folded fabric, but also because if you make a wrong cut, you have to go buy all new fabric, and not yet alone the safety reasons behind it. Whenever you're not used to a rotary cutter and you don't know how to use it and you're not comfortable with it, it can be really scary. So, and on top of that, people are busy. Like, we are in a society where we want things fast. We want things to be fast and quick. And so that was kind of the criteria we were looking for whenever we were trying to build our business model. And so we came up with Quilt 101, and we decided that we were going to exclusively offer pre-cut quilt kits. So we were going to cut all of the fabric. And so whenever people get the kit, they can just start sewing it. They don't have to worry about cutting anything, or at least the initial cutting. Sometimes, they'll have to square up or subcut, but for the most part, we do all of the initial cutting. And it was, whenever we were designing the kits, we wanted to make sure that they were attracting the younger audience. They were attracting people in their, 20s, 30s, 40s, like the younger people. And so that was kind of our business model. That was our idea.
So it's like you started knowing from the very get-go that you were going to pre-cut everything.
Yes.
That was the business.
Yes. And we have changed over the years. So we are turning 5 in November. So we've been doing this for 5 years now. And for the first couple of years, our business model was for people to custom build a quilt, and then we would cut the fabric based off of that. So we had a website. It was a huge investment because that's what we originally launched the business with. It was a huge investment for us to have this custom website built. But basically, it started where people could go on, they would select a pattern, and we would have probably, I don't know, 15 patterns. And they were ones that we designed. There were patterns that we designed that were super beginner friendly. And then, so they would choose the pattern, and then they would choose the size they wanted, and then they would choose the fabric they wanted. And the binding and the backing, they would build their entire kit, and then we would cut it for them. And what we were figuring out is that we had to hold so much inventory. Like the inventory was ridiculous because we didn't know what people were going to order. So we just had so much fabric on hand, and it was just sitting there. And because we were launching our own patterns, I mean, it's time consuming, it's very time consuming to write your own patterns. And so we were only able to do a launch maybe once every 2 or 3 months, because that was just kind of the time frame we had to write a new pattern. And whenever a new pattern would come out, we would see sales spike, right? So new pattern would come out, sales would spike. We were happy. We felt like what we were doing was working. We were so excited. And then sales would just drop, and then there would be no sales. And so then that would motivate us. Okay, we have to get a new pattern out. So then we would create a new pattern and sales would spike, but we were just on this roller coaster of, we would only see sales whenever we were launching a new pattern. And so back in 2020 is whenever we changed our business model to where now we collaborate. We hardly ever write our own patterns. There's too many incredible pattern designers out there. We don't need to be doing that to ourselves. We need to focus on what we do best, which is pre-cutting the kits. We are going to let the people who are amazingly talented at writing patterns, we are going to collaborate with them. And so we can use their talents instead of us having to exhaust ourselves to write them. So we started collaborating with people, which not only helped our sales, but also helped with social media and our growth on there, because all of a sudden now we have collaborations going left and right. And then we also, I don't know if this is stupid or smart, it's probably both, but we decided to launch a new kit every single week. So we launch every Friday.
I thought you were going to say month. You just said week.
Every week. Every week.
Gosh.
It's ridiculous. Like I said, it's stupid. But we have sales always coming in. And we have just created this culture where, and our kits are all very limited run. So we cut anywhere between 50 to 100 of every kit. And once they're gone, they're gone. And so it's kind of created this scarcity, yes, my mentality with our kits. And so that way people have to hop on at the exact launch time every week. And sometimes they sell out within 2 or 3 minutes. Sometimes they last for 12 hours. It's very, very rare. We do not sell out within 24 hours.
That is insane, but yeah. So smart of you, because now you're not just dealing with the inventory thing. I know when you said the custom thing, all I could think was cutting custom plus having all of that fabric on hand to make sure you're good.
Yes.
This seems absolutely brilliant. And it's helped you like with your operations. That's my guess.
Oh my gosh. So now with our business, it's like the inventory we have on hand, we order exactly what we need. We cut it. And because we sell out so quickly, we have basically no storage or inventory we ever have on hand. It's like, we have fabric. The only inventory we have are for upcoming kits. But even then, it's like, by the time the kit is done, it is gone. We don't have to store anything. It's off our shelves. And it's, oh my gosh, it makes this like organizational, like type A person very happy to not have just a bunch of stuff sitting there. And whenever we are cutting custom kits, it was so time consuming because you're having to pull everything for one kit. Now we make all of the kits are exactly the same. And you can cut 50 kits, I mean, it takes quite a bit longer than cutting one, but to cut everything the same, I'm able to cut 100 times faster, with the amount of kits. So it has, oh my gosh, it's been so nice.
So tell me, okay, so I feel like your operations are brilliant, and it took you some time to get there, right?
Oh,
and
years.
I think new, especially designers or creative business owners, need to hear that. Like, you have to pivot as you go.
Oh, yes.
To make sure that you have your business exactly right, so it makes sense for you and the customer, right?
Yep.
What I want to know is, how is working with your mom?
Oh, it's amazing. There are some challenges because she lives in Arkansas. So she lives really far away. So I'm the odd duck in my family. I'm from Arkansas. My whole family is in Texas and Arkansas. And I moved out to Utah for college and have never left. And so I'm the odd duck who lives out here by myself. But my mom, the business is headquartered here in Utah. And my mom comes out here. She actually just left a couple days ago, but about once a quarter, she'll come out here for 2 to 3 weeks. And that's whenever we get a lot of the planning done. That's whenever we get caught up on any of the back ordered things that we need to do. But we call each other, no joking, like 3 to 4 times a day. We're FaceTiming each other. We are, going off of each other's ideas. We have restructured the business multiple times to play off of our strengths. With the business, you are always changing things. You're always restructuring things because as you grow, there's just things that you don't enjoy doing anymore. And so you want to focus more on your strengths. And so you either hire out or you just you divvy things out. So my mom and I have actually, I think we're at a point now where I think this is going to work because we're always having to adjust things, but we're really trying to play off of each other's strengths. So my mom is now doing all of the planning. So my mom is the one who designs the quilts. She comes up with the fabric. She puts together the cutting guides. She orders the fabric. And she's also the one who is talking with the people who work for us. So the people who are cutting the kits or people who are sewing together the samples. My mom takes that side of things. And my strengths are definitely more of the marketing side. So social media marketing is my background. That's what I did for 7 years for $1 billion company. I was the head social media manager. And so that's where my expertise and my knowledge comes from. And that's what I love. And so I take more of the social media, the website, just the more forward facing things. I do that. And then we both still cut kits every once in a while. We do, well, not every once in a while, but once a month, we both cut a kit. And then we have people who come pick up the fabric from my house and then take it back to their house to cut. So we really are trying. We have 7 employees now. Well, I shouldn't call them employees. We have 7 contractors now who work for us. And so it's great because we're able to really focus on growing the business. So we don't have to take all the time just cutting kits. And so we have hired help for that.
So amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm obsessed with what you're doing. Now, here's the thing. There are people who are listening to this going, I want one of these quilts and I want one of these kits. What is the best place to go? And where's everyone ordering all of this?
So our website is quilt101.com. And then we have a banner on the homepage that will take you to the new kit of the week. However, like I said, we typically sell out really, really fast. So the best place to stay up to date on everything is going to be on Instagram at Quilt101. We update there all week long. We are advertising the quilt, and then they always go on sale at 10 a.m. Mountain Time on Friday. So that is when we launch all of our new kits every single week. We also have a newsletter. So if you go to our website, there'll be a pop-up that comes on. You can put your email in. It'll give you a 10% off coupon code. And then that will give you access to our newsletter. And we only send out 1 email a week, which is the launch of our pattern, launch of the kit. And so those are kind of the 3 areas that I would go, but you do need to stay on top of things if you want a kit.
What I'm going to do is we're going to put all of those links into our description so that those of you who are wanting to find out more about Emily and purchase a kit or see what she's up to, that you'll be able to easily go. Emily, thank you so much for joining us. Emily's actually going to be doing an expert guest series as well for our Design Suite members. So Design Suite members who are hearing this, keep an eye out, because that's going to be coming up in the next few months. So glad to have you on. I'm so excited to see where your business takes you, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you so much. This is great.
Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.